Chapter 9, NLP for Fears and Phobias. Overcome fear and hesitation. You can use NLP techniques in every aspect of your life. Everyone experiences self-doubt, fears, and other phobias at some point in their life. Even the best of us are bound to wonder from time to time whether we are good enough. You might even worry about whether something you do will make you seem stupid or foolish in front of others. These fears can prevent you from auditioning for a play, prevent you from learning to dance, stop you from speaking in public, or even prevent you from doing something that you want to do. Fear is a major obstacle that everyone faces in life. Fear can be as real as well as imaginary. Regardless of what it is, fear has a paralyzing effect that can prevent you from achieving greatness in life. Inaction can breed fear, and the only way to overcome fear is to take action. Instead of taking action or seeking a means to overcome fear, a lot of people hesitate. This hesitation can make all the difference in your life. People usually think, maybe I'm not feeling up to it in this instance, or I'm not feeling my best and I will do something about it when I feel 100%. However, these are just words, and that day may never come. A common excuse is a lack of time or the fear of disappointing someone else. There are so many people who want to change their job but scared of doing so. They often tell themselves, as well as those around them, that they are probably too old to change their job and that it will cost them job security. As you will learn in this chapter, you are never too old to make a change, and all the fears that hold you back are nothing more than illusions. Even if it sounds hard to believe, there seems to be some sort of comfort in not taking any action. Some simply believe that others are successful because either luck seems to favor them or they have some innate ability that makes them successful. If you think like this, then you have a free membership to the club of whiners and envious people. Instead of worrying about the success that others receive and blaming your lack of it on your luck or fate, it is time for you to take action. If you want to achieve something in life, you need to change and take some risks. There is no reward without risk, and change is essential in growth. If you really want to change the way you think, and you want to let go of all fears that hold you back, then NLP is your answer. There are different positive techniques that NLP suggests that you can use to control your fears and overcome any phobias. Now that you know what NLP anchors are about, using that technique will come in handy. Once you've practiced anchoring, then you can move on to the exercise that's discussed in this section. You can do this exercise on your own, or you can always find someone else to do it with. The first thing that you need to do is make some time for yourself from your daily schedule and think about an instance where you faced a barrier to something that you've wanted to do. Perhaps you couldn't muster the courage to ask for the promotion that you thought you warranted, or you couldn't read the book that was lying on your shelf which you intended to read for so long. Picture that particular event in your mind as clearly as you possibly can. Feel all the feelings and emotions that you experienced. Listen to any sounds that are associated with it. As soon as you can imagine it clear in your head, anchor that feeling to some part of your body. Think of all the times you had a barrier and perform the same routine of visualizing it, experience it, and then stack the anchors in the same manner. Now, try to think about the frustration or regret you experienced at not doing those things that you wanted to do, and then stack these anchors as well. Once you do this, visualize a time when you took the necessary steps and went for something that you did want. You might need to dig a little deep. The specific moment that you are looking for might or might not seem significant. Regardless of what you think about, it refers to a time in your life when you did something that you wanted to do in spite of your apprehensions. Now, create a larger picture of this event in your mind. Experience what you saw, hear what you heard, and feel all that you did. Transform this picture into a movie and see yourself chasing whatever it is you wanted. Let this feeling of satisfaction wash over you as it does. Anchor this feeling to a different part of your body. The next step is to get rid of the first anchor. As you do this, think about all the times when you stopped yourself from going for it. As this feeling bubbles up within you, Fire the second anchor and hold these together for a moment and release the first anchor. Now, as you fire the first anchor, hold on to it until it triggers a sense of frustration within you, and then fire those anchors. As these feelings continue to build, hold and then release the second anchor. Keep repeating this process until the need to take some action overwhelms you and motivates you to take action. This is a simple exercise that you can use to overcome any fears you have. There is another exercise that you can try to dissolve your fear and hesitation. This exercise that you are about to learn was designed by Stephan Rudin and Ronald Rudin. This exercise is known as Havening and is quite effective. With any other exercise, you must first read all the instructions carefully before you decide to start the exercise. If you must, then please go over it a couple of times to fully understand it. The first thing that you need to do is think about a barrier that you have and think about how terrible it makes you feel. Once you decide on a specific barrier, then rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the worst. You need to rate this barrier so that you can measure your progress later on. After this, clear your mind of all thoughts and start thinking about something that is pleasant. Now, with both your hands, tap simultaneously on your collarbones. Keep your head still. Continue to tap on the collarbones. Look ahead and keep your eyes open. As you tap and keep your head straight, look towards your left and then towards your right. Continue to tap on both your collarbones and keep your head still. Now, move your eyes in a full circle. First, move your eyes clockwise and then counterclockwise. The next step is to cross your arms. Once you cross your arms, lift them up slowly so that each hand of yours is resting on top of your shoulders. As soon as your hands rest on your shoulders, close your eyes. Start to slowly stroke your hands downwards on the sides of your arms. Start at your shoulders. Make your way towards your elbows, and then back again. Continue to repeat this motion. As you continue to stroke the sides of your arms, visualize yourself walking down a flight of stairs. As you walk down the stairs, count from 1 to 20 with every step that you take. As you reach 20, you can either hum or sing the first 3 lines of the Happy Birthday song. Now, let go of your arms and let them rest by your sides. Relax your body. Slowly open your eyes and look up. Look up and then down. After this, move your eyes from the left to the right and then back again. Repeat these movements 3 times. Close your eyes and take deep breaths. Inhale slowly and exhale slowly. As you exhale, gently stroke your arms and repeat this process 5 times. Now you can open your eyes. Think about the barrier you face and rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. When you are calm and composed, you will notice that the specific block you worried about doesn't seem that scary now. It might not have lessened as much as you wanted to, but it still has lessened. You need to repeat this exercise a couple of times, and every time you will notice that the barrier seems less and less worrisome. You can perform this simple exercise whenever you want to, in any stressful situation. The aim of this exercise is to calm your mind so that you can logically work on overcoming any fear that you experience. As you let the moment of panic pass you by, you can contemplate a rational course of action. Overcoming phobias. If you have a particular fear or a phobia, then here are a couple of ways in which you can deal with it. Avoid. Well, the most straightforward way in which you can deal with a phobia is to avoid the thing that scares you. It certainly won't be a problem if you're scared of the great white sharks or dinosaurs or something like that. It will be problematic if you are scared of needles, spiders, or even cheese. You don't necessarily have to be phobic about a tangible thing. You can have a phobia of things that you cannot see, but can experience, like a relationship or commitment. So how do you deal with such things? How do you avoid feelings and things related to them? Avoidance is a way to treat the symptom, but it doesn't treat the cause. Avoidance can also at times intensify your fear, and that's not something desirable. People tend to go to great lengths to avoid things, and this can cause severe disruption in one's life. If you go to great lengths to avoid someone just because you're scared of commitment, you will disrupt your life and will not have dealt with the issue at hand. Desensitize. You can desensitize yourself to something that scares you. For instance, let us assume that you have a severe phobia of snakes. Now, you go see a therapist to help you deal with this problem. During the first session, your therapist wanders off to the other side of the room, opens a book, and shows you a picture of a snake from about 25 feet. Your heart might skip a beat or two, but you'll be fine. During the second session, the therapist places the book a little bit closer to you, say perhaps 10 feet, and shows you the image of a snake for 10 seconds. After a while, the therapist places the book next to you, and you are still fine. After this, the therapist waves a plastic or a rubber snake at you. After a while, you get used to it, and it will not scare you as much as it used to. You get the idea of this technique, don't you? The premise of this exercise is to slowly expose you to the thing that scares you and reduce your sensitivity to it. You can use this logic to deal with any problem that you might have in life. For instance, if you're scared of commitments while in a relationship, then the first step is to tell your partner that you love them. Now, give yourself a couple of weeks to get used to the idea before you take the next step. Over the course of a couple of months, you can tell your partner you love them without shutting down. Flooding. If you think that desensitization isn't doing the trick for you, then the next exercise that you can follow is flooding. Let us continue the previous example of phobia of snakes. The next time you go to a therapy session, imagine that your therapist pulls a lever and you walk into a trap. The trap plummets you to the ground and you're fine. You are fine. And you're in a cage. You think everything is fine, and then you look around and notice that you are surrounded by snakes. Placing yourself in close quarters with something you are scared of might overwhelm your senses initially, but after a while, you get used to it. Another simple technique that you can try is to rationalize your fear. To rationalize something that you're scared of, you need to examine the cause of such a fear. What is it that scares you? Is it the thing, or did you have an upsetting encounter with such a thing? If you can address the issue that gave birth to your phobia, you can successfully tackle your phobia. If you are scared of commitments, take a moment and think about the reasons why commitment scares you. When was the first time you realized that you are scared of commitments? Is there something in your past that causes fear? Perhaps it was a failed relationship, or perhaps you experienced a rather harrowing childhood. If you can identify the reason for your fear, you can rationalize it and tackle it. Examine your life. Examine the fear and the cause of such a fear. When you do this, you can easily overcome your fears.